Welcome to the Boycott Everything podcast, brought to you by CGN, The Drastic Measure, and Breaking Company. And you guys, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, which I think is really the only place you can watch, you can go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a comment, like, share, do all that fun stuff. Find all of our social media stuff down in the description below. Our Twitter handles are up on the screen right now if you just want to do it that way. And you can also find us on Reality Kings.
Oh my god. There's too many porn sites. This is never going to end.
It's going to end at some point, I feel, because there's going to be like a point where I have to pull out like Playboy or something like really fucking dumb.
Hey, Playboy's classy. I read it for the articles.
Well,
Wait, I actually do. I actually do now. Wait, time out.
Yeah, I was about to say, they don't post nudes anymore.
Full nudes anymore,
Yeah.
This is a special episode to me because I've known this young man for a couple years now. I'm actually one of his first 10 followers on Twitter. So that long. And recently he's been doing amazing in the topic we're going to discuss. So today we're going to be discussing music on the internet and the things that happens with it. So I introduce you to my friend, RevRaps. Yes, I said Rev.
Got it right this time. All right.
Yeah, we have some
What's
Rev
up?
on Rev action for y'all today.
And it's not a fucking it's not a clickbait either. It's actual.
At least we had the title for the porn site, Rev on Rev Action, Part 1.
Yes. It's just gonna be is it .com, .org, .edu, like
.edu.
so you can learn a little about it.
You can learn. We're gonna give you the revs and the revs. I mean the birds and the bees. So what you been up to lately, man? What you got going right now?
Just a lot of music related stuff. I just put out an EP, so a lot of that, especially since iTunes. I don't know if anyone's realized that iTunes doesn't exist anymore. It's only Apple Music and Spotify or like streaming services. So trying to work around that because that was a huge profit margin, like when you can sell records at $9.99 a pop on iTunes, it was almost unbeatable. But trying to get them same numbers on, just streaming service related stuff has been a shitload more promote and marketing like crazy. So that's pretty much my nights. I'm just up to 9 to 3 in the morning, just promoting, fucking grinding, trying to get it out there. So,
and anybody listening, the link for you to find it will be down in the description and on the screen right now. That's where you can go find all of his music. He just released another one, so y'all gonna like that. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that. I think I want to go ahead and start with a topic instead of a question. We can get to the questions later. So, the big thing about this podcast, Rev, is I want to discuss the social ramifications for every facet of life when it comes to social media and the things that you're trying to do in life. So my first topic was and is promoting your music on social media. Does it seem to help you grow, or is it something that you think that you could be better off without sometimes?
Honestly, I think any musician or anybody that's doing any kind of art right now should invest time. I mean, there's not really much money unless you're doing promotional services and paying for it, but it's been nothing but good. And the thing is, it doesn't matter where you're from. Or I live on an island off of Massachusetts, so I'm fucking in the middle of nowhere, but I can connect with people all over. Some of the best people, including yourself, I've met just through Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, and people that have become lifelong fans and what I'm doing I just met, or people that I've met through my marketing team or my management team, and I've just actually wanted to talk to them. And it's like nothing else. You can compare it to back in the day selling CDs outside buildings, but nah. You can go so much further than anyone's ever gone in the music business right now. You can reach people that you never could have fathomed before, and unreal to me. Like, like you can just be with, like, I don't know where you guys at right now.
I'm trying to get my microphone to work again. It all depends. Since everything I do, everything Willie does is pretty much all intertwined when it comes to YouTube and Twitch. My Twitter
like,
is more.
where are you guys at? Like, what city are you guys in
Well,
right now?
I'm in Texas, so I'm in
Yeah,
a small.
so see, like we're literally, I'm in Massachusetts, so we're literally half the coast of America away from each other, being able to just talk and do all this shit right now that would have never happened without social media.
Yeah, and
Which,
Willie being in the middle, it's a perfect segue. You're right about that.
Yeah.
and it's helped me grow so much that I don't even know, like, I mean, the only thing Twitter could really do is give me like a verification badge at this point, but I don't even care. I've found so many people and like a way to do something that wasn't possible to me like 10 years ago when, like, I mean, Twitter existed, but I was in the stage of like, yo, underground hip hop, fuck that social media shit. Like, like I've been through it all. So sometimes it's like easy to talk shit about things, and when you actually do them, they're like, hey, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
no, I do agree with that. I think the way I found you on the old account was I was just all of a sudden I see my name appear on Twitter and I'm like, I've had that name for 30 years. Hold up. Let me
yeah.
check this out. And then I listened to your music and you were just starting and everything. I was just like, no, hell no, man. I'm gonna use your music if you let me. We're gonna bounce with this. Me and you should start a podcast. This is like 3.5 years ago, Wooly. Like this was a long time ago, man. I was like, we should start a podcast, call it R&R, and just bullshit. And he's like, I don't have time right now. And that's when we were still doing charities and shit would rise up, and it was just the timing didn't happen, but. I'm really, really excited that this is the first time I can say that I've asked a question about the people being involved with social media and it'd be almost all positive because, yeah, there is negatives to it, but
Oh, yeah. I mean,
this
there's
is cool.
negatives to it. That's the other thing too, is like you will reach, like, one of my tactics that I use is to go into subcategories and just like be like, all right, so what's something that like I enjoy that pertains to like my brand? And usually it comes down to gaming. And I'll go through and interact with all those people. I'll fave their stuff. I'll comment on their stuff. And like the biggest response that just like literally, it might be just a pet peeve at this point, but like it just eats me alive, is like when you like somebody's stuff or you just like comment on it with like a, just like a thumbs up or something like that. They're like, why did you comment on my post? And I'm just and then I like go to respond and then you're blocked. And I'm like, what the hell? Like some people are just like that and you just have to move on from it. Like there's literally a million other people in the subject. So it's kind of goes down to your mental ability to just like be like, all right, that person's a douche, move on. Like yeah, but like I found that most times, honestly, people have just shown love. And I don't know if that's because I make music and I'm not just like in the gaming community, but like, man, I've gotten an overwhelming amount of people that have just like supported me when I was like, damn, I got to step up my game now.
I think a
So
lot of it. I think a lot of it with you is you're down to earth. I don't think it has anything to do with the subgenre or genre that you're in. It's just like
that's very interesting. I feel like I always try to be so down to earth to people, to be like, yo, like, because I hated when I'd message rappers or people I'd want to work with and they just never answer. It'd be like 6 months later, and then I'd be like a response from them like, yo, just saw this. It's like, no, you didn't, dude. You're looking at your Twitter all the time. So I wanted to be like fucking transparent to people and be like, yeah, if you want to reach me, you can reach me. If you want, like, like anything, even to the point where when I'm on Twitch, like, yo, you want a beat you want to see me freestyle on, just send it here and I'll do that for you. So I appreciate that. That's always been something I've tried to work on, just being like,
well,
not.
I contacted 4 people for this episode, and 2 of them I know on a personal level, and then Popsky I've been supporting for years, and you're the only one that responded. And I'm not saying anything about Popsky. Popsky's got a lot going on right now, but the other 2 has tweeted just at 300 times since the first time I sent it.
Yeah.
Which is more than me and you combined in the same time. and I
Yeah.
tweet literally all the fucking time. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
if you can tweet 300 times a piece in the amount of time, and I'm not gonna call your name out because you don't deserve any recognition, because that's a dick thing to do to somebody that literally is just trying to help you. I don't
Yeah, yeah.
gain. What are you going to give me a couple people? We've had 9 guests on here and we have 12 subs. That's not what this is about. This is just about a conversation that the people that's on can share with their friends and family and be like, look, I was part of this, and these cats are down to earth, and da 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 da. I don't need anything. This is just a release
Yeah.
for me. So to ignore me, especially one of them being somebody that
Yeah,
he
you know.
wouldn't he no he wouldn't be on Twitter without me. Like,
Oh,
literally would not be on Twitter without me. And he
that's
wouldn't be on
unreal.
Twitch without me. So both the two things that he makes his money off of right now, he couldn't even respond and tell me to go fuck myself.
Yeah.
So
I hate that.
so it's like, it's one of those things. It's like it is what it is, man. Y'all can keep gassing each other up, and that's amazing, and that's fun to watch. But at the same time, like I told you in March, you don't forget the people that gasses you up to begin with, to get you going, because
I know.
that's a shitty
Yeah.
thing to do.
That's a lot of people do that. They forget where they came from and the people that, started it up for them. And it's not, they'll always try and make excuses. It's almost like some type of like pseudo psycho part of people. Only some people, not everyone's psycho, but like that, it's like when you confront them about stuff like that, it's just like lie, deny. I was doing this, I was doing that. And it's like your intuition immediately tells you that they're bullshit. And it's like, it's just like you don't even need that energy
Yeah,
sometimes, because
it's like,
there's people like us have like energy, and it's like it's not that hard, because I'm doing a million different things, and like you've been one of the people that have supported me from the jump, and I love what you do, so it's just easy to be like, all right, literally just take the Discord and be like, all right, I'll just wait here for a minute, we're ready, go. Like, it isn't that.
or like he said, look, you're on. I don't care if everybody tells me no every time. The show's still going to go on. Me and Willie's still going to
Yeah.
record. We're still going to record something. That's why we came up with the football podcast. That's why we're going to do hockey. That's why we're going to do basketball. Because if people just stop saying yes, or people don't answer me, we still have something to fall back on, and I still get to do what I want to do, and Willie gets to enjoy putting it together and being part of it. So it doesn't matter. People can say no all they want. I'm not going to be upset. The young man in question, I wouldn't have cared if he would have literally just typed the words "fuck off" and DM'd me.
I know.
The fact of the matter is, in 6 days, he's put out 363 tweets and can't say yes or no to me, or I see it, go fuck off, or whatever. It's just, to me,
I know.
that's one of the problems I have with social media, and you're right about it. I mean, you can't say that you don't
Feeds
see
into
it.
their ego. It
Yeah.
feeds into their ego, because now he's like, he sees what you're saying, but he feels like, I don't even have to put forth the energy to really
Yeah.
even. So it's just kind of like, all right, that's it. He'll find out sooner or later. People like that will always find out sooner or later. Like, oh man, maybe I should have been more like invested in people. It'll come back.
There's a reason. There's a reason why I started supporting. I've known him like 20 years, but I started supporting y'all on social media and Twitch about the same time. One of you, just happens to be in video games. The other one is still fucking falling apart and still can't get it going. And he's just as talented as you. He doesn't rap, but he makes music. So for the fact of the matter is, like, there's a reason why Rev is making it and you are not. And it's simply because personable people respond, because it's not even just personable people. I'm not a personable person. People say I'm negative all the time. Well, they still respond to me most of the time.
You want to know a cool story?
What's that?
So it just fits in perfectly with what you're saying right now. So one time back in the day, like 2010, 29, fucking G-Eazy used to be on Warp Tour all the time. And before he was even anything, like, nothing, he would just have one of those people that would have a stand at one of the Warp Tour things. It wasn't even like a stand. It was literally a table with a chair. He had a few T-shirts on it. But literally anyone that would like come by, I just passed it. and he would be like, hey man, my set's at, this time, this time. I have like t-shirts that have my name on it, but like you probably want one that has like designs, and he had this like graphic Jeezy, like, nothing to do with him, but like it was just graphically designed by somebody that like fucks with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, that, and now he's as big as he was, but it's still like back then he was still in the scene on Warped Tour with a table, talking to everyone that came by about his set, what they're doing, like who they want to see. Like, no one is that. Everyone just sees Jeezy now as made it, but like no one sees all the personal relations he put into being like, yo, what's up? How you doing? Like all this stuff, because
Well,
that's how.
you can go back further than that. Like the person I vote for president every year since 2000, Percy Miller. Percy Miller literally he grinded the streets for years before he made it and became Master P, and then he was the first self-owned. And it was so amazing because one, that's where I was raised. I saw this from the ground up. I wasn't part of it, but I saw it from the ground up. I had one of his first records. There's all the underground stuff he did with his brothers, and everything he did. Everything came because he grinded really, really hard, but he didn't shit on anybody on the way.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why he has that level of success now, where he has that like old man money, where he's not worried about shit. Like even putting out music right now, he has so much more involved. He's gone so much deeper than just the construct of making music for, a fan base. And he's, like you said, he came from literally grinding the street, grinding every chance he could, taking every opportunity. And that's where you're gonna because there's no sense in closing doors on yourself, no matter what you're doing in the music industry. Like
Any
if
industry.
somebody said, yeah, any industry, honestly. And it's like you might as well, because if like it really is a simple saying, like you really don't know if you don't try. So if you just try it out and get involved with something, and don't just be like, oh, it's easy to have that like God complex where people think they're better than anyone else, and it's like, nah, just be the person you are. You're not changing. You're just doing what you love on a different level.
And I do like the term old people money because that's where he is at now. Now he knows he's better than most. And now he has that old people
Yeah,
money.
he doesn't have to say. You don't see Jay-Z out there flexing with money to his ear and shit like that, and going out all the time just saying like stupid stuff like you broke on Twitter. It's like it's just like when you have it like that, there's nothing that needs to be said, and it says a lot when you are like that and you have it like that too.
Me being an old rap head, to our first question, my favorite rapper of all time is Busy Bone. He just released a new album called Carbon Monoxide. Who is yours, and yours, Willie's, who is your absolute favorite rapper of all time and why?
I would have to say Big L is probably my favorite rapper of all time. And it was because we only really got a glimpse of what Big L could do, because I believe he put out like 2 albums. He featured on a few Jay-Z songs when Jay-Z was at the same level as him back in the 90s. And he was just so lyrical. I remember hearing him for the first time and really like not knowing what hit me, almost like dubstep, but in a good way. It was like, holy, like, what did he just say? Like, it was one of those first times that I've had that, but he said it in a way that, like, it wasn't like, Busta Rhymes, where it was how quick he could say it. It was like, he's just sending out freaking puns back and forth and back and forth and, like, staying in tune on the beat. I was shocked when he, Ebonics, I think, was one of the first songs I heard by him. And man,
Ghetto Stories is one of the most underrated albums
oh,
of
I
all
know.
time. Of all time.
Yeah, 100% agreeable. And it just influenced me so much because I had been writing poetry at the time, and I liked the concept of rhyming. And anyone that listened to any of my music knows that I really just rhyme heavy. Like, I don't really stray away from sometimes the flow strays, but my rhymes are always going. Like, that's one of my things that I just always do. I make sure everything rhymes, and I think back to why that is, and it's because of Big Al. Like, I just grew up on that, and I was just so heavily involved with like how this dude's doing that, the writing, the like, he put it in a way that was so poetical too, like talking about like killing dudes on the street in the most poetical way, but like in a way that's not even like people can do today. They still try, but they can't, you know, some people almost make it more comical. But this dude really like was about that life and was putting it in a way that was like, I hadn't heard anything like it before. Jay-Z was trying to keep up with him at that point, you know. You could tell there's a few freestyles. If you go on YouTube and find the 97, I think, freestyle with Big L and Hove, Big L has the track. Like, there's no doubt. Like, when Jay-Z comes on, you're like, yo, I want to hear Big L again, you know? So he could have been real great, and that it just sucked, and it really gives me a good point of view to be like, you know, anything at any time can happen. Even the dude that killed him thinking he was his brother. So it's like you got to be real careful in any game like that, especially the rap game. So it just really taught me a lot, and I was like fucking 14, you know, when I was first listening to him. So just learned a lot.
So
Yeah,
Wooly, you're not really into the scene like we are. So who is yours?
I really don't want to answer because my answer is too white.
too white.
As you say that to a white guy and a Native American. Okay, got it. So what's up?
I mean,
Eminem.
Yeah. I mean,
Come
just because I kind of grew up, you know, my older brother would listen to him, and you know, that's how I got introduced to it. And then
There's nothing wrong with Eminem, man. I mean, seriously.
He acts that way because of me, not because of anything he actually feels. Because I'm one of the very few people that I've ever met in my life that fucking detest Eminem. I think he's trash. So, and I have always thought he's trash. So that's why he's acting that way, man. I mean, if that's who it is, man. I mean, like, see, I was never an East Coast rap fan. The only East Coast rapper I've ever really truly liked is one album by Biggie. So it's one of those things. I'm more South, and you know, as you know, 3 of my favorite 5 rappers of all time is from Cleveland. So, and part of the same group. Oh, oops. So it's one of those things. Still with us? Oh.
Weird.
Yeah, that's the third time in a row.
Myself.
Yeah, that's the third time in a row that's happened to us.
Third podcast in a row it's happened.
Jeez, fucking Discord.
And as a proud partner with Discord, I'd like to say, can you fix your fucking server still? Yet, please.
Yes, please.
Are we giving that in the podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a partner with them. I'm good with that. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad. It's a good service, except for their voice service. Their voice service sucks.
Yeah, definitely. They could improve on it.
I said Eminem's trash, and Rev just stopped talking. I fucked up his computer.
No, what I was saying was I don't have any of him on my playlist, but I fuck with like all the shit he's done like culturally for hip hop, you know, like I'm just more of a fan of like, you know, he kind of, the beat rides him, he doesn't ever ride a beat, you know, like I like when people can kind of like, it's like a coexistence. So, but I feel he's done so much for the culture, man. Like,
yeah. I can't deny that, but at the same time, there's part of me that still thinks that he hurt the culture too. Because now everybody thinks they can rap because he can, and they don't understand that even though I may dislike him and I may not like him as a human being, he's a pretty shitty person, but he still lyrically is top 5 of all time, and I have to admit that because no matter how much I love Bone Thugs and Harmony, the only one that has lyrics that's next level is Crazy Bone. And that's why I said 3 of my top 5 is from the same group, because I like each one for different reasons.
Yeah, makes sense.
And when you're a Master P fan, you really can't talk shit about somebody being lyrical. That's like Juvenile fans going, yeah, I like him because he's lyrical. Huh?
It's very true.
Like good rappers, not so lyrical. All right, next point and topic. So you already kind of discussed it with Apple, so we'll do all of them. How do you feel that SME, and for those that don't know what that is, first off, get out underneath the rock. It's Sony. Uh, and, and second, most of the people listening are video game players, so you know what SME is without knowing what SME is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, what are your thoughts on SME, Apple, the product, everything that Spotify is the big one? Do you think that they actually care to help people grow, or is it just a, hey, check this guy out because he's going to make us a couple pennies today?
I think it's almost more complicated than any of that. It's so when I look at it from a consumer point of view, it's very much easier to just subscribe monthly to either Spotify, Apple Music, or any of the other streaming services. But like the thing is, you can get any song from anyone at any time. But the problem for that being, a mid-range independent artist to like, even very independent to even just almost about to get signed is you're not you're not making like barely anything anymore from it. So they'll give you the platform to look dope and yeah, it's so easy for people to find you but like put it this way. So if you get 1 million streams on Spotify, that equals $4,000. But you have to get 1 million streams. So it's also like not as easy as it used to be by just being like, all right, so I can sell, one album at $9.99. And then if 50 people buy that, that's a good amount of money to start at. So it really just changed how musicians make money and make music and how they sell it to people. And it was kind of crazy. I enjoy it. Like when I listen to music, I'm listening on Spotify. And like, I just don't see how anybody that's listening to music wouldn't want to use the platform, but it's on the platform to make sure the artist is paid how they should be. Because if they're making all this money, then why shouldn't the artist make at least 25 cents per stream? They can't even get people to that. So,
Well, the way I look at it, and it's funny that I get to bring up Popsky again because I guess I'm just going to shout out Popsky, and I'll go ahead and go to his Twitter and get all the information for you, Wooly, so we can promote him properly because he just did not have time. Um, when I first met Popsky is because I'm partnered with Twitch, and he made a song for us, and it was amazing. I love the song. Um, but I saw that he was selling albums for fairly cheap, or I can get them on Spotify. And then the entire Spotify thing happened where people were like, "Hey, we have to have like 600 this and 600 that and 9,000 this a day to make any money." I'm just like, man, I'm not gonna do Popsky like that. I'm not gonna I won't do you like that. That's fucking insane. Because maybe me buying the album once isn't a huge help, but it's better than me listening to the song 20 times, listening to each song 20 times, and you not making hardly any money off of it.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I went and got the albums from, well, at the time it was iTunes from
Yes.
you, and then I got them straight from him because he sells them straight from his website. And it's just like, if you really believe in people like Bass Rebels, I wish Bass Rebels would just one time release a huge like 500 track thing for like $15 because it's still going to make people money, but it's still better than what Spotify does Bass Rebels. Because like if you go to the Bass Rebels the copyright free music on Spotify, it's the same like 40 songs
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
So it's like, how are you helping anybody other than getting their name out there? And most of the time it's I remember, when was it? It was maybe 2017 with you. Me and you were talking in public about me sharing your music on the stream and me getting my Twitch team to help, and you were all down for it and everything was going good. And some guys like, hey, if I throw you a beat, would you make me a song? And you were like, yeah. And he's like, I can't give you any money. And I'm just like, why would you even say that? Like, he already
Yeah.
said yes, man. Like,
That's
he
dude.
said
I wish
yes.
I wish I could send you all the screenshots of people that like now even more because I work with Lil B all that on a daily. So people will be like, "Yo, like let me get a feature." And then when I say like, I'll show them love in the price and they'll be like need either no answer or just like, "Oh, I only make like $20 a month." So like I'm like, then like it's one of those things where, well, if you wanted a feature from Lil B, let alone me, like you better have more than $20 a month. Like
or
that's
or
just
or
how it
or
goes.
or do like you did with me, because see, the reality to it is I didn't come to you for anything. I heard your music and I was just like, all right, now I support. Because that, if you're
Oh
gonna
yeah, it's
come, if you're
totally
gonna come
different
in,
from supporter to
no,
like
no,
feature.
what I'm saying though is, if they really mean it, they really want that feature, go record something, make it dope, make it sound awesome, and then give it to them and be like, hey, I got like 20-30 bucks, let's do something. If it's good enough, Lil B and Rev is gonna be like, yeah,
You
let's
think?
roll. Let's fucking roll. Like,
Yeah, that's in a perfect world.
yeah. But and yeah, the world's not perfect, but at the same time, nobody's gonna overlook talent. Nobody.
Oh yeah, it's only a matter of time. Most people that have talent and never make it, it's because they gave up on themselves before they actually reached where they would be found. It's a lot about just not giving up on yourself and not just being like, oh, that shit's just gonna happen to me. It's gonna take a lot of groundwork from yourself, and everyone just is like, yo, do shit for me. Like, can you grab me by the arms and pull me through this? And it's like, no, that's not how if people. And the funny thing is, if people really want to fucking support or they really want to make music or whatever it is, I almost just sit back and I don't even care at this point because they will reach the point. I know this point. I've seen it in people's eyes when they reach the point of like, yo, fuck, this isn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. And it's just like, like it's almost comical. It's like, yeah, you have to invest a lot. And it's like, you're not going to get an investment from people outside. You're going to have to put time, effort, money, everything, traveling. Like, what are you willing to sacrifice? Take a notepad and fucking write everything down that you have and you love and you feel fine with every night, and cross it all out because that's what it's gonna take. So that and it's just like I used to go through and tell people that, and like literally now I just sit back and I'll just send the crying face emoji because I just know because they're gonna hit that point and they're gonna remember that conversation and just be like, "Fucking kid was right." Son of a bitch.
Hey, everybody, do you hear that? Wooly, do you hear that? Once again, this is Big Rev, because this is what we're gonna say. I'm Big Rev, he's a little Rev, because I guarantee I'm older, and I guarantee I'm like 6 inches taller.
Oh, I'm
So
small, dude. I'm like
yeah.
5'4". I'm like Kendrick
Oh,
Lamar
oh,
size.
oh,
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 oh.
oh, I'm 6'6".
Yeah, yeah,
So it definitely is Big Rev and Little Rev. See, Big Rev
definitely.
been telling y'all this for years. This one, Lil Rev, is one of the nicest, most kind, most honest human beings you ever met. He just said something that Rev's been telling y'all for fucking years, and y'all don't want to listen. Like, there's becomes a time when somebody can say something so many times before they're done saying it, and then they have to play the waiting game to see if you ever see what he's saying. That's what he just said,
Yeah,
and
literally.
like, that doesn't make me negative, and it doesn't make him positive. That's reality. That's not something that I come up with because I want to get attention or I want to be negative. That's reality of the situation. You can only tell somebody, Wooly, that you're really good at YouTube, Wooly, and that you should really focus on your YouTube, Wooly. But then you just get tired of saying it, huh, Wooly?
Roasted. But yeah, no, it really is, and it's like sometimes you have to light the own fire under your ass, and that's hard to do sometimes because we all know like you need to make money, you need to pay bills, you need to take care of your house, we have family, like so much to do, let alone like something that's kind of a pipe dream. But the thing is, like, you get enough pipes together and you know how to weld, you can fucking, like you have endless amounts of ability to do stuff. So it's like, just think, how much do you want something? Not do you need it, but do you want it? Because you're going to take care of your needs. And that's where I go from, like after all these years of doing rap, I still want it. Not necessarily like need it, but I want it. Like it's something that you need and want, like, because you're going out of your way to want something. So I still want it as bad as the first day when I realized I can make money off doing this, and also give people a product that like they can listen to.
It's 100% why I wanted to have the conversation in podcast form with you, because when I first met you, you were, I won't say shook, but you were not the confident person you are now. Like,
Oh, definitely
it
not.
was weird because I could show you DMs between me and Rev where the situation has flipped. Like when I first met him, and a couple months after I started going with him, I was reminding him that don't give up, you'll make it if you believe in yourself and you can do this. And he's just like, man, thanks, man. And then this year he did the same fucking thing, the exact opposite to me when I was shook. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted this so bad from the rip with you, because I knew that one, we got along perfect, even though we have different frames of mind because of where we were raised, not how we were raised.
Definitely.
And more importantly, it was just, he's like you, Wooly. He's like David and Aegon and them. It's not just take friendship. He gave back, and this is the first time I've talked to him in voice. So
Yeah,
like,
right.
so like, y'all make sure that you click the links and give him a try on Spotify. And if you like his music, buy it, because it's going to be worth it to you. And if you buy it and you reach out to him and tell him that you want to use it for your streams, he's going to say yes. Period.
Oh, 100%. That's one thing that I love. People, I appreciate people asking me, because it makes my day, honestly. But I just want because it sucks when you're going to try and put music on the stream, and then you look back later in your summary and it's like audio muted. You're just like, okay, Warner Brothers fucking gonna like come after me for them 5 views. Like, so I wanted to make sure that like people could use the music, and also that my music is alive. It's come from so many different points where it's like it wasn't what it was like 5 years ago. Now, like, I've been able to evolve my music into something that's still evolving to this day. So it's like with my music, it's one of those things where I love artists when they can have that consistent hit every time, and like that consistent, oh, that's why I fuck with them. But I give people that, and I evolve too. Like, I don't, people be like, oh, fuck auto tune, fuck all this. And I'm like, nah, I'll evolve it into something that's fucking nice and can be used and that I like to listen to. So that's a lot of what, for me, dude, making music, half of it is like listening to myself. So basically I'm schizophrenic, but it's like, going on long drives.
You don't understand how funny that actually is.
But
Which Rev am I talking
one of
to?
the things
Right?
Lionel Richie used to do was drive around and listen to a song before he'd release it. And if the song, like, if you listen to the song and wanted to play it again and again, and was just like, yo, this song is awesome. And, that's when he knew he had a hit. So I do that all the time. I try to make sure my music is like, so, like when I'm putting music out in October, it's not the same music that's being put out in July, because my October music's going to have horror elements into it. And my July music's going to have like lit, chill ass, like, summer vibes. So it's like I always try to do that instead of just being like the same every single time. And I will not change. Because I used to be like, when you were saying you first met me, man. Are you still there? Can you still hear me?
Wooly
Okay.
DM. Wooly DM.
Yeah, we still
Can
hear
you
you.
still hear?
Yeah, we
All
still
right,
hear
word. I just got like a red flash on my phone. So, but like literally, what was I just saying? Fuck.
you. You were talking about the music put out in July is not the same as it was in
Yeah.
October.
I like having music that people can like vibe to seasonally, and know that it's not always just gonna be like, oh, DJ Khaled released another tape with the same fucking 5 people, and it's all like, yeah, let's turn up. So it's
Another
like,
one.
Yeah. I appreciate the consistency, but I want to do that in a way that also is shiftable. for people to be like, yo, like, you know, I feel like not enough people put that thought into songs now. It's like, oh, this is just a hit. This is just a hit. But it's like, can you make a hit in October? Can you make a hit in July that vibes? That, like, you know, people used to do that shit and they don't anymore. It's music's gotten lazy, lyrics gotten lazy. But I try to be at least as much as I can influence out there to be like, yo, musically, like, you want to talk music, like, I got all the music for you, not just rap. I listen to blues. I try to play the piano from now and again. Like, you know, that's what real music should be about. And if you're just and if people that are listening are like, I love fucking trap rap, I'll just sit there and smoke weed and listen to that all day long. Like, you know, like, I don't even care. But like, that's the thing too. It's like, get out of your element. All those dudes are just listening to the same dudes. It's like, get out of your element, listen to some blues, listen to some BB King, listen to some old jazz. Like, maybe you'll come up with a dope new beat that has like some crazy feel to it. So I always try to be open like that with my music, and that's why I appreciated all you guys, because when I didn't have that platform, I was going by Revolution for the longest time, putting out political rap and all this other stuff. So once I put all the pieces together, I was wondering if people would still be around for the journey, and you guys were one of them. So I was like, wow, there's a lot of new people that follow me that don't even know about any of the old days, the Revolution, Who is Revolution days. Like, you know, like, I just really morphed my whole image more into like who I am, not just like, because I was
Now
trying
what's
to put a
going on?
message out. Yeah, a message
Yeah.
out that no one's ever going to hear because the world is so fucking deaf right now. But I'm like, if I can do that in a way where, like, you know, I might put, if you listen to any of my songs, like, maybe there's a, you know, 2 lines or 4 lines or maybe even 8 where I just drop some real in it, and then I can just go back to like smoking and chilling and whatever. But like, if you're into it for like, all right, I'm just chilling back, and then I drop some real shit on you real quick, it's a lot more applicable than like the name of the song being like, you know, like, what was the song I used to just do like all the fucking like, or you know, Drake released a song called like One God or something, or like something. I released one called like No God. I was just like going after all the like political like elements of life.
Man,
So
look,
uh, it
it's
was,
like this. It's like this. Go to Spotify, type in RevRaps, scroll down, go to Upside Down, and listen to R.I.P. Revolution. Everything he just said is in that song. Everything.
yeah, literally.
Everything.
That's one of the albums on my platforms that was still very,
Uh,
and that's
Hey,
really if
Discord,
people
nothing's
want.
changed. You see, Discord, nothing's changed here.
It's like, yo, I watch horror movies 24/7. Yo, like, I'm not gonna not make horror music. I'm not gonna make this music just because everyone's doing G music, everyone's doing drug music. Like, so that's where I was like, yo, fuck the political shit. Really, like, I want to do what I want to do, and if it's like has some, like, I've put a lot of diss Trump and diss Hillary, and no real, like, you, if you listen to my shit now, you can't tell if I'm a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, like, and that's what I want. I want people to focus on what they want to do, because fuck the government, fuck all that shit. They don't care about.
oh, I don't think that's Discord anymore. Trying to take him out, Rev.
What do you mean?
That might be the government.
Oh, he said the government and this shit went whack.
The NSA spying on us.
Run, Rev.
It wouldn't be anything that hasn't happened before.
Oh God. All right, let's get into next conversation piece. I want them people out there to know a little bit more about y'all. So, Rev, other than rap, what's your favorite genre of music, and who's your favorite musical star?
My favorite genre of music is probably, other than rap, I would say it's probably just like, just rock, you know, just like, I grew up on like some classic rock hits because I was born in '93, And my parents were like, late 30s, early 40s at that time. So I just grew up listening to so much classic rock. And one of my favorite bands when I was growing up was CKY. They were Bam Margera's family, and a few, I think a cousin or two made the band, and they'd always just play the all their songs on that old Bam Margera show they used to have on MTV. I forget, Viva La Bam.
Viva La Bam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just love CKY so much, and that whole kind of punky rock style, but like it's not like soft core. It's more, it was like kind of the middle. It was very middle ground. It wasn't too screamo. It wasn't too like soft. I want to just go into my room and cry music. It was just like, oh wow, I can like skateboard to this music. I can ride my bike or like like something like that. And that was one of the things too I don't bring in much of anymore, is that's how I grew up, very like, Massachusetts, on my bike going to my friend's house and listening to rock, playing Gears of War and fucking when we first had Xbox 360s. So I wanted to bring that element to what I am today, and that people that are doing that now can listen to some RevRaps and be like, yo, this dude gets it. Like, so that's, and I listened to like a lot of like Tyler the Creator too back in the day. I listened to like a lot of weirdo shit sometimes, but like that fit me, and I was like, yo, I want to try to do the same thing back. So and also a lot of influence that I have too is from like Leonard Skinner, like just bands that gave you, like, when you listen without their voice, it's poetry, or when you just read the song, it's poetry. It's funny to think of all of your songs but without being sung, just read the lyrics and think about them. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a what I was on for a while, was just like I'd read these lyrics and then I'd listen to the song so I knew the lyrics. Especially Pink Floyd, a lot of trippy bands like that I like too. It just got you to think of things in a different way that you didn't think of them before. Like Comfortably Numb, that song always sat in with me deep, because it was like, he was trying to live his life, but then he just hits a point where it's like, man, I'm just in cruise control right now. So
Wooly,
I
what's
pre-
yours?
Favorite. I mean, I'm kind of a rock guy as well.
Yes,
Especially classic stuff because I was born in '91, and
nice.
my dad, like, he would constantly be playing like '80s rock and even going to some stuff in like the '70s. And it got to a point where like my favorite band today is Led Zeppelin.
Mm.
So
They have good art though too. Like a lot of their albums, like I think it was the one with the blimp on it
mhm.
that was like being blown up. Yeah, they just had like the sick imagery and the music to match it, and it's easy to listen to too. A lot of stuff today, it's like you can't just put on new age music and just browse through it and drive.
Right.
Back in the day, you could do that like effortlessly. Now there's going to be like skip, 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 skip. All right, this is all right, but
Yeah, like it's kind of weird whenever you're a young person and you hear like the first few notes of a song, he's like, "Oh, Zeppelin." Especially like whenever we went and got my car that I currently drive, it had the like all the cars, they have Sirius XM as part of
yeah.
them. Well, we were going through and we found a Led Zeppelin channel that had been playing during that time, and
Mm.
and I was like, "Oh, that's Zeppelin," and the fucking dealer was like, "How the fuck does this kid know Led Zeppelin?"
Yeah. Right, I love that too. Because I'm the same way. People think I'd have no clue like what old bands are, like Blue Oyster Cult and like all these other
Mm.
just underground bands, and I just know them all. I grew up listening to them, and a lot of them too. It's like you almost subliminally just like don't even think about it, that the lyrics get into your head, and then you're like born into like this like lyrical rock world where it's like you're just secondhand subliminally picking up all these like lyrics and messages.
Yeah.
Well, I think this it's not a shock to Wooly, but maybe to you, Rev. My favorite genre of music is 50s
No, I like
outside of rap, and my favorite artist of all time is Nat King Cole. Like it's not even
that's a
remotely
great
close.
choice, though.
Like it goes Nat King Cole and then like 90 pegs down Michael Jackson. But I was born in the 70s. I'm a 78 baby and was raised in the 80s, and I hated hair band music. The only grunge band I ever liked was Nirvana, and when Kurt Cobain passed away, I was done with that genre completely. And
I feel
then
that.
I started liking Korn for a while, and then but rap's always been my go-to since as long as I can remember. So it's like one of those things. I'm more lyrical. I like lyrics more than I like anything else, except for when it comes to speed. Speed, it doesn't matter. That's why Busy Bones, there's times when you listen to Busy Bone and you're like, did he just say ba da ba da ba to make it sound good? Is that what he just did? And then you read the lyrics and you're like, yes, that's what he just did. Got it. Check Nine and Crazy Bone, Twista, but I can listen to Nat King Cole all the time, all the time. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's like it's fun to get to know where people's thought processes come from, because if you listen to your music, you can definitely tell that you listen to a little bit of grungier rock in your heyday back in the day. You can definitely tell that, and it's cool to finally know that now.
I can barely hear you right now.
Oh
wait, well, now
was that a me issue? Was that a me issue, or was it a?
I don't know. It just sounded like somebody was playing the xylophone while talking, almost like Dr. Doom entered the party or something.
God, I hope that comes over the podcast. That's going to be amazing.
I didn't hear it like that.
It's like, holy shit.
Damn it.
That would have been cool, though.
Yeah, it'd been the best part of the podcast ever.
Dr. Doom entered. I actually have to get going right now, though.
Well, that I was gonna say, we're done. If you want to pimp your stuff one more time, shout out where you need to go.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Floor's yours.
So if you want to get my new EP that just dropped, it is 2 tracks, and it can be found at Smart Euro /Duos Pack, and Duos is DUOSPACK. And that'll take you to a link that'll give you any platform you want to use: YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, both of my profiles are open, so send me a DM if you're interested in vinyl copies of both of those. I was giving away Duos Pack vinyls, but now I'm selling them at $40 a pop. You can grab those from me. That's just sold directly through me and only through me. I also have an album out right now that features Lil B, 808 Mafia, a few mixes from Spain, and a bunch of other great stuff. It was put out by Sony, so you can check that at Smart Euro /Starcade album. And that's Starcade, like arcade with a star in front of it. So
money
you can find all that there. You can follow me on all platforms at RevRaps, RevRaps. And yeah, please interact with me. Like your boy said over here, Rev1 or Big Rev, that that's what I'm for. I'm transparent. I'll talk to you. I'll give you music. I'll help you with stuff. So let's talk. Let's get on the grind. And like I said, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone listening out there. And if there's something you think that you can't do, it is 100% possible and can be done. And if it's not going to be done by you, then who's it going to be done by? Thanks, guys.
All right, man. And everybody else, thank you for being here for the newest installment of Boycott Everything. Not as much controversy as usual, but that's good for Wooly, I think.
Just a little bit.
So I'll leave with this: like, subscribe, obey, and remember to always eat ass, scumbags.
I'm gonna hate that tagline, but I get to do the thing at the beginning, so
yes, you do. All right, Rev. Thanks for coming by, man.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, guys. Have a good night.
All right.